Hello guys, welcome back to the show. No clever intros today because I'm hoping the video might draw in some extra new viewers who don't want to hear my silly jokes. They just want to hear about Absolu Aventus, and I'm going to bring you an update on the latest news about how much we know about this upcoming release. I think it's going to be released, unless I've missed something, I don't think it's out yet. September 2023 release, we think. Absolu Aventus, the follow-up to the legendary Creed Aventus from 2010, and there is much talk and much anticipation in the worldwide fragrance community about this one. We have an official note listing for the upcoming, here's a picture of how the bottle will look, the upcoming release then, Absolu Aventus, and I've got an actual review that is on Fragrantica from a writer who has actually smelled a sample, and so it's kind of an exclusive, I think, on YouTube, or I might be the first person to relay this news to you, but I'm not reviewing it myself, okay? But it's not clickbait. The title is true. We do have news on what it actually smells like from a real person. Okay, note listing for the Absolu Aventus is going to be blackcurrant, grapefruit, and bergamot in the top. In the mid, you're going to have cardamom, ginger, cinnamon, and citron, and the base notes apparently will be pepper, pink pepper, my favourite kind of pepper, patchouli, and vetiver. Now, the big thing that's happened recently with the Creed brand there, they were bought by a company, I think it's a French company called Kering, from BlackRock, another huge corporation that bought them a few years ago, and now they've been sold on to Kering, apparently a $3 billion deal. So this will be the first male release since that's happened, and so it's going to be interesting to see if anything's changed in the kind of way that they operate as a brand, but I would have thought not too much will change. Reputedly, this will be a 75ml bottle, the Absolu Aventus with a price tag recommended of £280, so expensive indeed. There is some talk then, I saw something on Fragrantica, it was only a commenter, a normal punter posting on Fragrantica, who says that it's going to be a limited release, and there's only going to be one batch only, and only a certain number made. Now I can't confirm that because it's not from a reputed journalist or anything. It's apparently in the USA you're going to need to be on a list to get it, but that's just one comment on Fragrantica, and apparently this person contacted stores in the UK, and they said they're not expecting to get any stock of it. That I can't confirm, as it's not very reliable information, but what do you guys think about Absolu Aventus? Obviously, the original Aventus, a modern classic, a great release. Is it my favourite fragrance ever? No. Love the combination of bergamot and pineapple in the opening with birch tar in the base, and it's got this kind of birch tar, smoky, leathery undertone, bit of fruity blackcurrant, a fruity chypre. Now, Absolu Aventus, we've got an article here on Fragrantica, which is a little bit old now, from August, but I stumbled across it the other day. I will link that, credit to the writer, and here is what that article tells us. He's actually had a small sample, and this is his initial review. So I found one article by somebody who seems to have actually smelt the fragrance. That's Andrei Lensky, writing a Fragrantica article dated 14th of August this year. He makes the following points. He observes that the pineapple note, although not actually in the official note listing, but he says the pineapple note of the original fragrance has gained a richer character and now resembles the scent of a real pineapple. If not a fresh one, he says, then a delicious canned one. I don't think canned pineapple's that delicious, but okay. He describes it as tart yet sweet, and he also observes that the fragrance overall resembles an oriental fougere, which would be in contrast to the original Aventus's chypre classification. The writer also observes a barber-like lavender accord with spicy, gourmand, cinnamon and licorice presence, and the ambroxan, he says, gives freshness to the scent. The structural logic, he says, is akin to Dior's Sauvage Elixir and its supposed smell-alike, a little bit, Roger Dove's or Roger Parfum's Apex. So he goes on to say that the fragrance is, in his opinion, not sporty but evening-oriented, favouring the dim light of clubs and upscale restaurants, he says. And we also find that, in his opinion, the Ambrox and sandalwood musk combination reminds him of Dior Sauvage Parfum too. It's a lot of Sauvage references, which I don't know if that's really a good thing. He also says that everything points to kinship with the Sauvage Fougere family, which of course Dior Sauvage is officially a fougere, very much a modern take on that way of constructing a fragrance, not one of the 80s type out-and-out barbershop type fougères, but okay, yes, that's true. And we also find out that, in his view, a smoky leather base here is borrowed from the original Aventus, as if homage took a hand in Aventus's profile. Interesting point. He also compliments the fragrance as being coherent and tightly constructed, whatever that means. And his final conclusion there is, will this make a new statement in perfumery? No. Will Aventus fans like it? Yes. And he reassures it does have smoky pineapples, so fans of that combination from the original will be pleased. And crucially, he says it lasts long. So that's the most I've heard about how this actually smells. I don't know if there's any other articles about this from people who've actually smelled it, but there's one. Okay, so guys, let me know what you think about that. I've got to be honest with you, if the way he's describing it is true, I don't think it's going to be my favourite fragrance ever, and it's not really something I'm hugely excited to go and rush out and buy a full bottle of. I'll try and get a sample and give you guys my first impression when the thing is out. Let me know what you think about that. If you like this channel, if you've enjoyed the video, please subscribe. It really helps me out a lot, and I do bring you some unique content here on YouTube that is a little bit different to some of the other reviewers. And by the way, just so you get something to think about fragrance-wise today from me, apart from my speculation about this fragrance, Aventus Absolu Aventus Terre d'Hermès Eau Givrée was my scent of the day here, and a very nice, fresh, grapefruity cousin to the original Terre d'Hermès this is, with some of the Terre d'Hermès DNA. Also, if you want to buy an amazing and perhaps a little bit more unique smelling than the Aventus DNA now, because that's very common, you can try Norton & Wilson fragrances. That's my brand. There's a link in the description. Chypre Fulminare, a potent Chypre fragrance, which would work well in the colder seasons. Guys, I will leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, whatever we're doing in life, let's project. And although life sadly can often stink, at least we can always smell good. Bye-bye.